this is the entrance to our hotel. Just look at those palm trees. Listen to that wind. I don't know how well you can hear it, but it is absolutely roaring out here. We're seeing more palm fronds being picked up here. I just checked with the weather radar. It looks like the eye of the storm is still about 7.5 to 8 miles from our location. We're in the same spot where we were yesterday, and the water is still a lake here on the road. However, in just the last 30 minutes, a truck from Lee County just showed up here, and they're finally, after 4 days of flooding here, they're putting up signs. And the flames burning behind me were actually set on purpose to get rid of some of that fuel to keep the fire from advancing into other populated areas. If you take a close look, it's interesting. On one side of the street, you have these mobile homes that are just fine. The boats are okay. And then 20 yards away on the other side of the street, you have roofs peeled off, and you have boats with mangled debris and roofing on top of them. The state of Florida has been spending about $30 million each year to keep our beaches built up. That money is not enough, according to Republican State Senator Jack Latvala. Today, he proposed a law that would make that figure $50 million. You can actually see the skid marks where the car went off the road. It appears to have hit a tree and then landed in the median on down the way. It's actually about a 30-minute boat ride from Pine Islands Marina. We are on that boat right now. This is the man the FBI was looking for, and one woman who lives here says she saw him here recently. They need to keep a lot of beer cold. When this warehouse is full, it'll hold about 650,000 of these cases, which adds up to about 15.6 million cans of beer. Picture this, 130 kids in this building behind me around 3:45 this afternoon when a man comes into the lobby behind me saying that he's been shot. And this is Winkler Avenue coming through right here, and this is Challenger where it intersects. There are stop signs on either side of Winkler for the people traveling on Challenger, and the city says a lot of these crashes are coming from people blowing right on through those stop signs. I want to show you behind the store, behind the Family Dollar. We actually had other units, canine units, in the trees and in the neighborhoods back here. They had roads closed off, and I talked with one parent who was waiting for her children to be let off of the school bus. They were letting the kids off the bus just yards away from where this investigation was happening. And in Collier County, they've had 29 pedestrian crashes so far, and 33 crashes involving bicycles so far this year. The fire is mostly out, but the trees are still smoldering. There's actually one on fire behind me right now. This is where the water is right now in the bay behind Captiva Island. By 2050, it's expected to come up about 2 feet, which is halfway up this pylon. By the end of the century, 6 feet, which is over this dock. There's plenty of trash here left over from last night's celebration as we rang in 2017. We've got beer cans, bottles, boxes, because in just the last 30 seconds, they actually closed this road. Collier County Sheriff's deputy is here in a truck making sure traffic cannot get through. That's because they are setting up a perimeter around here ahead of President Trump's visit. Yeah, within the last 15 minutes, we just got some updated information from the fire department here. I'm told the house behind me is a total loss. We are at the corner of Cypress Drive North and Oriole Road. I'll step out of the way. You can take a look at that house behind me. Just look at the damage. But here off of Henderson Creek Drive in this mobile home park, there is still standing water, and actually somebody is attempting to drive through it right now. It's not very deep. Oh, they're turning around. Turn around, don't drown. Good advice. Good. That's exactly what you should be doing. I want to take in a little bit of a tour here. There is a lot of damage in this mobile home park. Take a look over at this street. You have to be very careful driving and walking around here. You've got wood with nails sticking out of it. Very dangerous. If you wouldn't want that going through your foot because you'd need a tetanus shot, I know from earlier this year. Walk up this street with me. So on one side of the street, the homes look okay, right? They look just fine. Not too much damage. But down over here, this trailer will start on this side. Most of the roof is pulled off. On the inside, they have new skylights. And Doug, let's walk around the back. We've got permission from the people who live here to be here. Take a look at this. Their Florida room, as they called it, destroyed. That used to be inside. There used to be walls and a roof there. Coming up on Wink News at 5, we're going to take you inside this home and show you what they're doing to clean up.
I was right over there cleaning the fishes with my godson, and he goes to me, "Hey, uncle, look at up there. It looks like flames or something."
And it's like, oh crap, it's a fire.
Witnesses described this fire burning on Upper Captiva early Saturday morning. The flames visible from 5 miles away. This is what they looked like up close. Video shot by Steve Evans shows just what the firefighters were up against around midnight Saturday morning.
There was flames from the ground all the way up.
Upper Captiva's fire chief Robert Kinnery says the flames and heat were so intense it caught a second house on fire.
You need water and you need the manpower, and we're just a small island, and we did the best we can.
But with no roads and no hydrants on the island, crews had to be brought in by boat and water pumped in from Pine Island Sound to get it under control. And all Saturday morning, they kept the water flowing onto the remains of this massive house as the fire department moves in to try and figure out how this all started.
This little island is, a little piece of paradise, so we hate to see something like that happen here.
An idea shared by many of the neighbors here as the search for answers continues. On Upper Captiva, Channing Frampton, Wink News Now. And happening right now, there's kind of a recovery operation going on behind me. This car has been stuck here for at least the last 24 hours. When a woman tried driving in, she sucked that water up into her engine and it stalled, like we warned would happen if you tried to drive through this water, because it's 12 to 18 inches deep. It's slowly going down, and that's letting renters and homeowners get back into this neighborhood so they can start that long road to recovery.
I haven't broke down yet. I'm sure I will at some point.
Debbie Smith rents this home just off of Island Park Road. This road has been underwater for days, but she and her neighbors are starting the cleanup process that could take weeks.
People are coming back through and helping everybody as much as they can, so I don't know when we'll be out of here. I don't know when it's going to be dry.
She tells Wink News she had 3 or 4 inches of water in her home. Her son's room got it the worst. Now she's ready with the shop vac to suck up the water that's left. And even though it hasn't rained here in about 24 hours, there's still about 2 feet of water covering the road in this parking lot.
But yeah, it's just been crazy. It's the easiest word to use.
Fortunately, she and her neighbors are getting some help.
Wood stuff, everything that would get damaged by mold, we're just going to put it into a storage unit.
Alex Spencer has a truck that's high enough to get in and help.
If they need a ride as I'm going out, I'll pick them up, bring them to the end. Yeah. But yeah, it's good. I feel good about it.
And those who were spared are thankful the water didn't get any higher.
It's devastating.
Now, as this recovery operation continues out here, we're also hearing from neighbors. Now is the time that they're starting to blame people for this water not going down. Coming up on Wink News at 6, hear what one neighbor has to say about that blame and what leaders in the area are doing in response. Live in Lee County, Channing Frampton, Wink News Now.